Hey everybody, Preston here, also known as Godzilla Hawk, and I'm your current two-time KOTA World Champion. As you can see, the reason I don't have my championship is because the dogs ruined the front logo, so I have to make another logo. I'll worry about that another time, maybe during the two-week break when I'm off school. But for now, I'm going to give you guys my TNA Lockdown review of 2014. So we're going to go over the matches. I got the matches up on my TV screen. I was able to watch it through live stream on First Row Sports. I highly recommend it. It's pretty good for UFC, any sports, whether it's professional wrestling, football, baseball. I recommend it. It works. So yeah, definitely use that. That's what other guys use, like Scott, Mitch, and countless others. They usually use it to their advantage. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and talk about all the matches that happened on this card, and then I'll give my overall thoughts. So, the first match was the Great Muta and Sanada and Yasu Wrestle 1 versus Bad Influence of Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, and Chris Sabin. I was trying to get the link up. I didn't get to in time, but by the time I did, there was only like 30 seconds in the match left, so I can't really say anything much about it. But for some odd reason, now I think it's Yasu is the new X Division champion. I really don't know why. I thought Austin Aries was the X Division champion. I don't know what happened there. So if you guys can tell me in the comments down below and tell me why there's a new X Division champion, please let me know. I have no idea. It is extremely confusing. So if you know the answer, put it in the comments down below this video. I would appreciate it. So I can't say anything really much about this match because I didn't get a chance to watch the entire thing. So I'm not going to say it was great, and I'm not going to say it was terrible because I have no idea. So sorry about that. Second match, it was Samuel Shaw versus Mr. Anderson. For story-wise, it was very interesting, but as a match, it was pretty dull. It was boring. It didn't. If you watch a video, it felt something personal, and you feel like, oh, these guys are gonna hate each other, gonna be bashing their brains in. And really, most of the time, it was just them laying on the ground or doing holds, and it was just really dragging on. And half the time, I was like, are they gonna do something? But then towards like the last 2 or 3 minutes, they actually did some stuff. Anderson ended up climbing over the cage, but the ref was down, so he didn't see it. Samuel Shaw was grabbing Christy Hemme through the camera hole. Anderson went and tried to rescue Christy, but of course he got into the lock of Samuel Shaw. I keep forgetting what it's called. He passes out. Samuel Shaw walks out of the cage, thus winning the match. So, like I said, the ending was interesting, but overall the match was just, it wasn't there. Like, it was just really dull and boring in my mind. Third match, it was Ethan Carter in his open challenge. If you didn't know, Kurt Angle got into his injury, so he was not able to compete. So therefore, Ethan Carter III made an open challenge to any superstar in the cage. Bobby Lashley came out, which I was pretty surprised at. A lot of people thought it might have been maybe, most likely like Jeff Hardy. Well, not Jeff Hardy, but more like Sting or AJ Styles. But that didn't happen. So Bobby Lashley came back and ended in no contest. They didn't fight at all, really. Ethan Carter just gets away, so not really a match. And if it was a match, it was probably the worst match on the card. I don't really consider a match. I consider it almost like a segment. Just Bobby Lashley returns, so that was interesting. I'm not counting that as a match because they didn't really do anything. Next is Tigre Uno, I believe, if I pronounced that right, versus Manic. This was a very interesting matchup. These guys worked really well together. They had some good spots. This Uno guy is very impressive. I really hope he definitely stays in TNA because he'll definitely help the X Division a lot. because we need more X Division stars. We want that X Division. We want like those Ultimate X matches again. We want those more like what is it? Same Asylum matches. The Big Red Asylum matches. I want those again. And I want more X Division stars. So that's what I like. They're bringing back X Division and new X Division stars, and that's what I like. So as a match itself, it was, I would say it was very decent. I would not say it was the match of the night. It was definitely worth watching, but I kind of thought maybe these guys could have went on maybe a little bit longer. Maybe it would have been a better match. That's just my view on it. The overall, for what it was not bad. They did have some interesting spots, and Uno ended up defeating Manic. Next we have Gunner versus James Storm in a steel cage last man standing match. I'm going to give that to a high five to TNA. Match of the night for me. These guys had a great feud going to Lockdown. And what I liked about this was, the only thing that worried me was how were they going to make this work? Because if they just had steel cage and then the last man standing rules, it would have been pretty boring. That's what I was fearing. It was just going to be cage, and then it was just going to be, you know, 1, 2, 3 counts like that. And I was like, how's that going to really work? Is that going to work that well? But surprisingly, it ended up starting like what they did with James Storm and Bobby Roode back in 2012 in Lockdown, I believe, where they just battled outside of the ring. They just battled, they threw weapons in the ring. Then they finally got into the ring, they used weapons, they had chairs, they used the cage, and they used the roof of steel steps, which was kind of interesting. And yeah, it was very interesting. I liked about it. That's what I liked about some cool spots. Probably the best spot in there was the suplex Gunner gave to James Storm from the top of Superplex onto folding chairs that were set up right next to each other, and he suplexed them, and it looked really good. For a second, I thought they weren't going to do that. I figured, oh, they're not going to do that spot. They'll probably just go on the ground and then do something like that. But they end up doing a giant superplex back first on the chair, and Gunner ended up winning the match. So, in my mind, match of the night, very good match, and I like the fact that Lockdown went back to its original roots where every match is a steel cage, but this time they kept it interesting by adding different type of steel cage matches. Like you had some where you had to only escape, the only way to win was to escape the ring. The only way to win was by pinfall or submission. Some ways win by knockout or last man standing. That's what I liked about it. So, very creative and very good match. I definitely enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend this match. Next, we have Madison Rayne versus Gail Kim in a steel cage match for the... Oh, sorry about that. There we go. I had to shake my camera. I was falling asleep. So here we go for the TNA Women's Knockouts Championship. I probably missed the first like minute or two. The match, I had to use the restroom, but I was able to catch the last like 4 or 5 minutes, and for what it wasn't bad. It's definitely way better than the Divas division in WWE right now, because all they're doing is just like 1-2 minute matches, but that's what I like about TNA. Like, even though they had crappy street fight matches, very short, at least they made the women's match more interesting by adding a street fight. That's what I like about TNA, because they know the women wrestlers there could be just more than just a pretty face. Like, these women wrestlers can actually wrestle. Like I said, steel cage matches, knockout standing matches with Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim. If you haven't seen that match, watch it. It was very good. Ladder matches. They had quite a few ladder matches, in fact. And of course, street fights. Falls count anywhere matches. Like that's what TNA is best at. That's one of the TNA's best strong points, is their women's division. Even though it's not really big, but at least they know what they could do with them, and they know which women's wrestlers can work, and then they can try and make something and make a new match of it, like a steel cage match. So by far, this was not the best women's match I've ever seen, especially in TNA, but it was definitely worth watching. Like the Manic and Uno match, it was very decent at best. There were some good spots. I think it was Gail Kim that did. I couldn't tell if it was a side effect or net breaker, because she did one on Madison Rain on the, I think, the top rope on the side, so like that. So I thought that was a cool spot there. But yeah, then there was the diving spear from Madison Rain to Gail. 1, 2, 3. Again, very interesting match. But like I said, that's what WWE needs to do. They really need to focus on their Divas division and start upping them up, because if they don't, then their Divas division is going to be dead and extinct. So that's why if I watch anything, I'm watching more TNA Knockouts match, especially if it has like a stipulation like this. Take some notes and start adding stipulations to the matches and start using them wisely, because you're treating your champions like your AJ Lee like total crap right now. So I really hope you have some sort of idea. So anyways, next match is the Magnus versus Samoa Joe. Steel cage match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Only way to win by submission or knockout. I thought this was actually going to be the main event, because they said it was going to be a main event lockdown. But instead it wasn't. It was actually the second to the last match on the night. This has mixed reactions for a lot of people. Some people might like this match, some people might hate it. For me, I thought it was okay. I thought it was an okay match. I'm not going to say it was the greatest match ever, but for what it was okay. You did make Magnus look a little strong by doing like a figure 4 elbow drop. What I liked about this was because you made it seem like Samoa Joe was going to win. There was a little bit of blood in the match, which I did enjoy. You made Samoa Joe look like the menacing killer, and like he's going to kill like you. That's what I liked about it. You made it look like Joe was going to win, and the fact that you add Joe's rules to it make you think, how's Magnus going to win this? Because everyone knew Magnus was going to win. They just didn't know how he was going to retain the title. And he gets him in a, Joe gets him in the choke, the lock, and out of nowhere a hand comes out, drags Samoa Joe under the ring, and we don't see him for a good like 30 seconds. Then Joe comes out, he grabs Magnus by the throat, and out from below comes Joseph Park, also known as Abyss without his mask, with Janice. Hits Joe in the stomach with Janice, and then black hole slam, knocks him out, and then Magnus gets Joe into the choke. Of course he can't answer, so he wins by knockout. So in my mind, this is very interesting, because this has mixed reactions for me. The reason why I'm saying this is because I did not expect Abyss to be with Magnus. I just don't see the pair up with those two. So I don't know what's going to happen. One of the possibilities I can see happening is possibly having Eric Young and Magnus feud for the world title, which would be very cool. Have Eric Young win, because Eric Young knows Abyss very well, and they could do something like that. Like they could have Abyss as a special guest referee for a world title match, maybe like Sacrifice or something like that. I think that would be very interesting, in my view, to have something like that. Just a suggestion or something. I don't know. Just speculating. They could do something like that. But overall, it was not the greatest match ever. But it, again, just like the Uno and the women's match, it was decent. It was okay, but I didn't really mind the ending a whole lot. I didn't really care for it. Next, in the final match is Team MVP versus Team Dixie, Lethal Lockdown. Probably second match of the night. I liked this one way better than last year's, because last year's I didn't consider Lethal Lockdown because they never closed the ceiling. I don't know what the deal with that was. I found that very stupid, but this time they actually had the Lethal Lockdown in there. And what made this interesting was two things. One, Jeff Hardy was supposed to be on Team MVP. You see some segments where Dixie's saying, we're going to make sure Jeff Hardy doesn't enter the building, and he doesn't. So then once the number So once he gets out, it's not Jeff Hardy, it's Willow, which everyone knows is Jeff Hardy, but the Willow comes out in Jeff Hardy's place. We can also know it's Jeff Hardy because he does Twist of Fate, the alley-oop face buster. He does the Swanton bomb. He's got the green dragon tattoo on his back of his arm. So we know everyone knew it was Jeff Hardy. I already knew it's Jeff Hardy. And if anybody says that's not Jeff Hardy, then you need to get your eyes checked. But then the second thing that was interesting is the special guest referee was Bully Ray. When I saw Will, I thought MVP's going to have a chance to win. And then I see Bully Ray, and I'm like, how's this going to work now? I don't know what's going to happen. And then it looks like Bully Ray's about to, I think he grabs Willow, or Jeff Hardy. He's about, I think it was, I can't remember if he was going to put Willow or MVP, but I don't remember. But he was going to put one of them through a table. And then Bully Ray gets in Bobby Roode's face. Bobby Roode slaps Bully Ray, and then Bully Ray basically just plows him to the ground. And then 1, 2, MVP makes the cover. 1, 2, 3. TNA MVP wins, which means Dixie Carter is out, and MVP takes full control of TNA. After the match, Bully Ray gets a power bomb to Bobby Roode through the table. So I'm very interested in seeing. So does this mean that Bully Ray is a baby face? Does it mean he's still heel, or is he a tweener? Personally, I don't want to really see him as a baby face. It'll be kind of awkward. But at the same time, I don't want him being a heel. I want him to try to step out of the boundaries a little bit. I would like to see more like a tweener. I think that would be a little bit better, kind of like a tweener. He's on like nobody's side. But I'm looking forward to see what happens on TNA, what they're doing with this whole Bully Ray angle. Sorry. So that's pretty much Lockdown. So that is a grand total of, well, not including Ethan Carter match. We're going to execute that one because that was a match. So that's a grand total of 7. So we'll start with the opener. The first match, I don't know, so I can't judge. Second match, that sucked. Tiger Uno, decent match. Gunner James Storm, awesome match. Madison Rain, Gail Kim, decent. World title match, decent. And then finally the Lockdown, good match. So overall, there are way more positives than negatives in this match. So if I had to rate this TNA, I give it about 7.5. I'm just thinking when I watched. Samuel and Anderson I didn't care for. Like I said, Ethan Carter, Bobby Lashley, they didn't really need to have that match. I don't understand why they had it as a match. They should have just had it as a segment. And then, of course, the opener, I couldn't really judge on it because I didn't watch the entire thing because I was trying to get the computer working. But so out of all these matches, most of these matches were decent, and 2 of them were actually, I give them A's, at least A's or B's. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I want you to comment down below. Tell me what did you guys think about TNA Lockdown. Did you like it or did you not like it? Did you like the matches or did you not like the matches? Like I said, tell me about the X Division thing because I have no idea. So tell me about that in the comments down below if you can. And as you know, Preston here. Also in the comments down below, there will be a voting poll for who's better. You have Terminator versus RoboCop, Mr. McMahon versus Shane McMahon, and last but not least, Power Rangers versus Ninja Turtles. So please vote down below and tell me. You could vote multiple times as you want, just like in other voting polls in the past. You can vote multiple times. It doesn't matter. I need voters. So please vote, because I'll be doing a Who's Better video, I would probably say about maybe 3-4 weeks maybe, so about a month. And then I'll also be doing a Pet Peeps episode very soon, so stay tuned for that. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and all I say is take care, my peeps. And I would probably say the next live reactions I would probably say is WrestleMania. So stay tuned, and I'll let you know more about Mania coming up. And that's all I have to say. So again, take care and enjoy yourselves.